Alright, looks like I fixed the jitter. Wasn't the game after all, it was something that got loaded while I was redoing. Much better. While I was doing the hard drive, some stuff got installed and some updates and whatnot, and I have no idea where they came from, but they certainly appeared from somewhere, and they made it. They sounded like they were good for the system, but well, whoa! It's too early to be drinking, Skeeter. Alrighty, let's see. Let's see if we can pick these up. See if the shop will load them for us. Oh man, not the... They won't do that last bag. Lazy bums. Oh, man, that's heavy. Jeez. All right. It won't load all three, but it'll unload them. All right. I think the loading area for the auto load needs to be adjusted just a bit. All right. Let's top this off. Little picky there, but we got it done. Now I'm messed up here just a wee bit, so I'm gonna fix it. accidentally planted sorghum over the grass. So that one spot will be one growth stage behind it when we cut grass, but that will be okay. We are on sorghum. Let's get to planting this field with some sorghum. We're going to have plenty of sorghum. Next year I'll just plant that field over there, because this one will have canola in it. Yeah, I think when I get through planting everything here, and it's at the end of the day, I run up to the country store and get a few supplies, catch up on the local gossip, see what else we can find out. It's always a highlight of the day, going to the country store, shooting a breeze. Well, reminds me of the feed store I was telling you about that my mom used to work at. They had one of those commercial coffee pots like you'd see in a diner. They kept that in the back of the store where all the feed and everything was stored. Customers would come in, they'd go back there, they'd get their cup. Kept plenty of those styrofoam cups. They'd get their cup of coffee, they'd start talking. And man, let me tell you, them old ranchers and farmers, they could tell some tales. Get 2 or 3 of them together, and nobody could get a word in edgewise. I can tell you what, I sure did learn a lot about farming and ranching and cows and raising animals and everything from listening to those fountains of wisdom. You just don't have places like that too much more today. Yeah, today you want to find some farming wisdom, you Google it on the internet. Ask Professor Google, he knows. Let me tell you, Professor Google has not been in some of the positions that those farmers have been. I mean, some of those farmers knew more about their animals than a vet would. Later in life, my stepdad, he was a horse guy. He knew everything there was to know about horses. He had vets ask him questions about horses. I mean, he knew things. He knew old ways of doing things that people had forgotten about. He could literally nurse a horse that a vet just gave up for dead. He could nurse that thing back to health and turn it into an absolute winner. He trained them. He raised them. He knew everything there was to know. If he didn't know it, it was not important and didn't need to be known as far as horses go. Yeah, those were the days, man. I don't know. I don't know if you can find places like that anymore or not. Maybe. But I can guarantee they're dwindling. It may sound weird for a software engineer to say this, but I tell you what, I have thought about how nice it would be to move into an Amish community and start living an Amish lifestyle. Then I think about giving up my computer, my electronics, my TV, all that stuff. And then I changed my mind. It's a simple but hard lifestyle. Well, I keep forgetting to ask everybody how they're doing and hope they're doing good. And if you have any comments about anything, leave them in the comments. Anything you want to say, if you got any questions you want to ask, or you got anything you want me to talk about, get on a soapbox about, rant about, whatever. Just nothing offensive, please. I'm always looking for something to talk about. I can talk about just about anything. Although I'm not a super big sports fan, so I can't really talk a lot about sports. But honestly, if I was 30 years younger, had it to do all over again, I think I would live this lifestyle as opposed to what I'm doing. I really do. Something about getting up in the morning, working the land with your bare hands or tractors or whatever, dealing with whatever comes your way, putting in a good solid hard day's work, and enjoying a good peaceful sleep at night. Because you're too tired to worry about anything else. Man, my tires are getting dirty. I am going to have to get that power washer. And don't let me forget, I've got to get more bees. You know, we talked about that earlier. I'll have to take a quick look at my notes here in a minute and see how many beehives I need to add. Almost done with this field. Yeah, if I was going to start over, I might would think about kind of the order of planting things, and maybe I wouldn't need quite as many fields to start with. So I realized that kind of after the fact that you could, after you harvest the sorghum, you could get one planting of grass. And I'll tell you, based on what I've seen some of the other people doing this challenge, just one or both of these fields with grass would really, I mean, you saw how much grass I got off of just that one little strip over there. Oh, that also reminds me of something else too. Let's park here for a second. Do I have enough room? Yep. I think that I am going to that doesn't hold very much, if I remember right, but this one, I don't need to make silage and all that, because I'm just going to feed the cows hay, but this would be nice to use where are we going to put this? I don't want to put it there. I don't want to put it way out here. Maybe I'll put it about right. What do you think? About right there? I think so. Boom. Now, let's go over here. I saw. Oh, shed lights? Oh. Oh. See what we're looking for at night. That's cool. All right, I want to get just 2 bales of grass to start with. All right, where did it go? There it is. All right. Now, let's go get the skid steer. I don't know if it's me or not, but it seems like after the last update or after I've messed around with things, it seems like the graphics look a little sharper. May just be my old eyes playing tricks on me, I don't know. I did clean my glasses earlier. I mean, that could make a big difference right there. Oh, that's right, we can barely carry that. Okay. Let's take this over to our haystack. That's the way the old timers used to do it. Woohoo! Now, let's set that up. Turn grass into hay. Okay. Now the other thing I was going to do was get some bees. So let me pause and take a look at my notes and I'll be right back. All right. It looks like we need, I'm estimating we need like 9 beehives. I believe we have 5. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. 7. 8. 9. 9. And 1 extra 10. Beautiful. Now let's go back and check what we got to do today. All right, we planted sorghum. Complete. I am going to change that fertilize to a priority level 2. Fertilizing grass. All right, so we want to get our parsnips planted now. Then we can fertilize everything. All right, let's see. Tractor. Planter. Pardon me while I drink a little water. Come on, there we go, parsnips. No, I don't think I've ever had a parsnip. It's not something we grow down here in the south that I know of. Oh, I did it again. It don't have wheels, so it's not wheel powered. I have to turn it on. Oop, there's a jiggy jaggy. I probably should have cleaned that up a little bit. I definitely should have cleaned that up a bit. Well, next time we plant in this field, before we do, we will get out the paint tool and we'll fix that. It's a tiny field. Let me tell you, I can only hope I can come up with the money to get the harvester for these. Parsnips are going to be harvested sooner than the sugar beets, though, so I'm going to need something. Alrighty. Once we finish this, we'll have to go into town and see what the shop has in the way of a fertilizer spreader that we can use. I've got my eye on one that I saw in there. If they don't talk me into something else, I think that's what I'm gonna get. Almost done. That's why I love these small fields. You're probably getting tired of hearing me say that. Man, I hardly used any seeds. Man, I love this planter. All right. What's next? Oh, yeah, might as well drive the tractor up there. We gotta go get the the fertilizer. The fertilize spreader. Gonna go spread some fertilize. Make things grow. Give some plant food. Make some strong plants. Yeah, right. Let's see if, well, first of all, I always check the sale. You never know what you might find in there. Now, I would like to have that, but, or even that. Okay, nothing good. Nothing that I need right at the moment. Let's go over here to fertilize spreaders. Sort. Oop, there it is. That's the one I like. You could even get an optional version that does seeding as well, which some people might say is not realistic, but I can tell you from experience that we have, when I was growing up at the feed store, they had trucks that had these kind of beds on the back of them, and they would spread the fertilize on fields, fertilize, and then some people would order, you know, certain grass seeds for the hay or for whatever they, you know, to improve the field for the cows or for their hay fields or whatever, and they would mix that in. And sometimes we even would mix in a winter rye or a winter oat, so that during the winter time when the other grass dies off, those would continue to grow and would feed the animals during the winter, and you wouldn't have to have as much hay. One of the advantages of living in the South, where you have a milder climate. It can get hotter than a volcano in the summertime, but let me tell you, those mild winters, I mean, we had probably our worst winter in all the years I can remember, just a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And let me tell you, the houses down here were not built for that low of a temperature. Plumbers loved it. They had days and days of work fixing busted pipes, because they were in places that generally just don't get that cold to freeze. Attics and under houses that are in blocks and stuff like that. And you know, I had I had a couple of busted pipes the first time. Second time, didn't get quite as cold, and I turned the water off to the well at the well so that we wouldn't freeze, the lines wouldn't freeze and bust. Ooh, looks like we should have bought some more fertilizer. Well, let's start with our grass field. I'll just have to go right down the middle. Ooh. Can we say it's a little too big for the steering assist on this field? All right, let's look at our fertilization. All right. So that has its first There we go. Yeah, see, it'll work on that bigger field, but it's not going to work on these two smaller fields. See what happens if I go okay. We'll just go back down the other side and put a little fertilizer over there. Yeah, I know some of those other fertilized spreaders have an adjustable spreading width, but they cost more than this little guy. And he doesn't go through a whole lot of fertilizer. Let's just see if we're going to make it all the way to the end. Or will we run out beforehand? I think we're going to make it. Just barely. Alright, now we should be able to see everything. Is fertilized. Oh, I forgot to turn off the double application rate, so those got fully fertilized in one time. I did not mean to do that. Yep, gonna need another shed now. We'll just back this up to the house right here. All right. Let's check our list. Plant parsnips. Check. Fertilize parsnips. Check. Fertilize sugar beets. Check. Fertilize grass. Check. Oh. Chicken feed maybe. And then looks like we can call it a month. Let's go see what the chickens' feed situation looks like. Are they going to need more? They can probably make it till next month. All right, I am gonna go get cleaned up and go into town, go to the country store, maybe grab a sandwich there or something, see what they got, and see what kind of news we can find out about. Oh, there's my water. Left it there, forgot about it. Okay. All right, well, I'll see you back in a minute, and then we'll head to town and see what we can find out. All right. Nothing better than a nice clean shower, getting cleaned up from a hard day's work. And we'll run into town and see what we can find. All right. We'll head off to the country store. Oh man, did y'all see that girl? Yeah, the clerk said her name was what? Is it Bobby Joe? Yeah, that's it, Bobby Joe. I'm gonna have to remember that. I hope I can see her again sometime. I've always heard of love at first sight, but I never would think that something like that would hit me. But boy, I'll tell you what, I'm smitten. All right, back home. I go in here, go take it easy for the rest of the day and get ready for tomorrow. All right, friends, thank you for sticking around and have a good day, and I will see you later.